Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Restless Barbarian Gaming, and we are back with some One Ring. It's been a couple of weeks since we last played, but we are now diving into the adventure book Tales from the Lone Lands. So we are starting with the first story, a troll hall, if there ever was one, and we're going to attempt to shake off some of the rust to remember and get back into playing this game, but I don't think we're going to have too much trouble. And tonight I have three great players with me, and I'm going to have them introduce themselves and who they're playing, and we will start in clockwise order with Q.
Okay, hey everybody, I'm Q. I'm playing Yoredale. She is a Dunedain, of the line of all those people that Aragorn hails from. What do they call it? Folks of the North. North? No, that's different. I don't know. It's been
Rangers
a little while.
Yeah, exactly.
But she is a Dunedain, not a Dunedain, because that's the plural. So Dunedain. I don't know what else to say. Yeah. Moving on. Tora?
Hi. Yeah, I'm playing. We were just debating how to pronounce it correctly. Tora or Tara. And yeah, she's a feisty little dwarf fighter. She's really just kind of a. She loves being an adventurer, and she loves sort of going out and proving herself and sort of representing her dwarven culture and her family, like as best she can, and that's just sort of like she's super jazzed to get a new assignment. She's kind of been hanging out in her little dwarven cave or whatever for long enough, drinking enough, eating enough. She's finally gotten bored, and she's ready to go use her axe.
And I'm Ellie. I'm playing Glorel, an elven explorer who would really be, well, that's not quite right. She'd really rather be in someone else's library that hasn't been inhabited for 100 years. But she's taking a break from wandering the wilderness on her own to come into town because somehow Balin managed to get a letter to her.
It's funny how those things work. Well, all right, folks.
I mean, the world was so small that you could just hand a letter to the postman and say, "Can you get this to somebody for me?"
And they pretty much did it for free.
Yeah.
Glorel is deep in a haunted cave that used to be the ruins of a castle, and suddenly someone pops up behind her and says, "Letter for you, ma'am," and runs off.
There is nowhere you can hide that we cannot find you.
If only Gandalf had employed more postmen, then he never would have had all that trouble.
I feel like Tara was like in the middle of an arm wrestling, and then she got the missive, and she was like immediately just pops up, grabs her pack that's always packed and ready to go, and is like,
she's got a bug out bag. Yeah,
exactly. Well, folks, if you watched our previous adventure, The Star of the Mist, several months have passed since these characters were together, and each of them, as we've just kind of talked about, just kind of settled back into their regular lives until that ominous day when they each received a summons from Balin, a notable dwarf. How it got there, how they found them, it's a mystery, as they say in Catholicism. But now that they've got this summons, his letter mentioned that he needs some help aiding the town of Bree with a potentially large problem. This former fellowship is to meet at a small inn named the Pig and the Peck, which sits beside a small farm between the Brandywine River and Bree. This endeavor is going to take them away from their family and friends for an extended time. Now, it sounds like some of them are hermits and don't have any family, so maybe traveling is good to them. But I want to know kind of how they each react first when they get this summons. Are they excited? I mean, do they dread it? Maybe even slight annoyance. I mean, it sounded like Tora was kind of glad to maybe get back on the road. How do the other two feel about being asked to go help another mysterious figure?
That was it.
Well,
It was just a note that says, "Come help this mysterious figure."
Mhm.
Or
Yeah.
Well, we know we're being summoned by Balin or Balin.
I've
Balin.
heard it both ways, honestly. I've heard
Balin.
Balin and I've heard Balin. So I probably lean towards saying it both ways. So
Okay. Yeah. I would think Tara's probably like a little. I feel like she's got a little bit of a crush. Like she's a little starstruck. Like she's like super.
oh yeah, he's he's a big deal, and
Yeah.
and actually,
are you related? Seems like all the dwarves are related in the story.
Well, I mean, if you go far enough back.
True. Yeah, you all came.
Not
You all came
directly.
from stone. Yeah.
But she's heard of it before.
Right.
So it sounds like it's maybe Torah.
Tara.
Tara.
It's a short O, and it's supposedly it's like O is in top, and A is in father. So Tara.
Tara.
Oh.
Okay.
Tara.
Well, what?
Tara, daughter of blah 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 blah.
Yeah, I should probably figure that out, huh?
Yeah, at some point, we'll figure out your lineages so that you can pursue.
What's important is that you felt gacked.
That I killed that guy.
Screw that guy.
So, I want to know from each of the characters, and you can go in any order you like. One interesting thing that happened along the way to the peg. I keep saying it backwards. To the pig and peck. One interesting thing that happened on their journey.
Mm.
And this is the journey from wherever we were to
Right.
meet
right.
with Balin.
To the pig and peck. I'm going to say it 10 times so I memorized how to say it. So.
Oh.
And Q, the way you have the picture of Yoridel, it looks like the spear is going through your eye. If you like lean in real close, so
Yep.
be careful. You're gonna put your eye out. So.
Yep. I may have to just turn that off.
Yeah.
On this small circle.
It could be something rather inconsequential, but maybe something that stood out to them.
Oh, I'm terrible when I get put on the spot.
Okay, you can go last.
I'm thinking. I'm like
All right.
scrambling through my brain.
I'll try and answer both of the questions. I'm just going to turn this off. It's driving me nuts. There we go. Yay, OBS. I'll try to answer both questions. So her reaction to being summoned was, since it was kind of mysterious, a bit of trepidation, worry that this might have something to do with the Shadow Rising, because she knows something's going on with the world. There's some evil stirring in the world, even though she's not fully cognizant of what all's going on. So that's a little worrisome for her. So some trepidation and a little bit of excitement, because she loves to travel. That's what she's been doing, is just wandering around. And I'd say on the trip to meet up with Balin, she ran across a band of goblins moving through the land one night where they normally wouldn't have been. So just something concerning that the goblins are on the move instead of hanging out where they typically do, which would be at this time Moria, I guess, and whatever that place where that pass in the mountains where the where Bilbo and the gang got trapped by the goblins. Yeah,
That hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
You got the
Where
setting
did
is
the goblins hang out? It was disturbing to see them running through the darkness. Enough so that, moving on her own, she did not try to confront them in any way. It was a large enough band that it was dangerous.
Okay, that's fair. All right, and it's knowledge you can pass along to other people. So
yeah,
okay, that's fair. All right.
Well, Laurel was curious about the letter and genuinely even more curious about how Balin's postman managed to figure out which town she'd be going to. So she was just in town for a resupply, but figured, why not? And so she headed toward the Brandywine.
Okay.
On her way there, she found inscription around the base of a great tree, carved into the bark in letters she didn't know. So she made a note of it, copied down the letters as best she could, and is hoping she can find someone who knows what they read.
Okay. That's fair. That sounds like a good idea. Okay. Stalled long as I could, Dora. It's a Torah.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Tara, so
Tara.
I think she hates works so very, very much. She's kind of always on the lookout for any evidence of them, and so I think she's actually running a little late and is like gonna show up kind of ragged, and because she kind of detoured when she thought she saw what might be ward tracks and followed them, but then kind of ended up on a dead end and lost the trail. And I had to give up and then start heading back to where she's supposed to be going, but she kind of got a little sidetracked there because she's a little worried that there might be some work activity.
Mouse, can you make sure your mic is securely plugged in? It keeps cutting in and out.
It is.
So you noticed it too? Okay.
Yeah, I noticed it.
We're going to be able to fix.
I don't know. Yeah, it's in there as soundly as it'll go, so I don't know.
Okay.
Cross our fingers.
All right. Well, the three of you end up meeting on the same road because in the end there's one large road that goes from the Brandywine River over to Bree. So as you all kind of come in maybe from like different directions, you finally meet on this road and see each other for the first time in several months.
Oh, hello. Is it Yoredel and Tara, or is it someone who looks suspiciously like Yoredel and Tara?
Are you Glorel or are you a doppelganger?
That's an excellent question. How would I know?
Okay, yep, it's you. It's definitely you.
All right, guys. I haven't had nearly enough mead for this. No.
Oh, all right. Well, we are supposed to be going to an inn, so I'm sure you can find some there. And
Excellent.
unless it's not that kind of inn.
The Pig and Peck. What exactly is a peck?
Like a
That's a
chicken.
unit of measure.
Oh.
Mm.
Thought
They
it was a
use
thing that
to-
chickens did.
I'm given to understand that it's larger than a pint and smaller than a bushel.
I could go for a bushel of beer right now. Can you get beer in
Yeah.
bushels?
You can get grain in bushels. I'm sure they could make that into beer.
It might take a while, but I could wait.
Well, they might have some already prepared.
Let's go see.
I could go for a peck of
Pickles.
ale and a good so there.
I was waiting for the pick a peck of pickles to come up. All right. When you approach on the road, you see a couple structures. One is a two-story building with kind of a large kind of open porch on the front. There are some barrels sitting out front. They look like they're ales barrels that are probably being moved out at some point. There is a girl, kind of a lanky, awkward-looking girl, who's kind of running over, checking some of these barrels, and then kind of licks her finger as she's like counting things, and it's kind of running back and forth. And then she kind of stops, and she sees the three of you standing there, and she's like, "Oh, good day. Welcome to the Pig and Peck."
Ah, we have arrived.
Yes. Are you coming to trade, or are you coming to have a bite to eat? What's your pleasure?
Coming to drink and eat. Also, we got to meet up with somebody.
Oh, okay. Oh, you must be the ones. I'll tell Ms. Baggins that you're here.
Excellent. Wait, before you go, settle a bet for me.
Sure.
Can you buy a bushel of beer here?
No. A bushel is of say the grain. When you make it into a liquid, it's no longer measured in a bushel there.
Okay.
Oh, that may be the origin of the name. I believe when you measure liquids, it's called a hogshead.
I don't know that, sir.
I have a more important question.
Hi.
When the inn was the Pig and Peck, when you chose the word peck, what, because you were thinking about how chickens peck at you because they're assholes.
I don't think that's the reason Ms. Baggins came up with that name. I don't know, honestly. I'm only about 13, and this inn's been here for many years, from what I understand. And she kind of gives this like shy grin, like, I don't know what else to say.
Good answer, lady. Good answer.
Laurel, the younger generations, they just don't read.
I'm not much for reading myself. No, I don't have time.
Tara, you're like 5 years old, 5 times older than her. Leave off.
Besides, it's understandable. She has things to do. And we should let you get about your business. If you let Miss Baggins know we're here.
And she kind of gives a little curtsy. She says, "Oh, my name is Daisy," and she kind of runs inside.
I thought we were meeting Balin.
Let's follow her in. I don't know. Maybe this Baggins person knows Balin.
Okay. And when you step in, there's kind of an old-fashioned bar in the corner. There's about 3 or 4 tables. There is a set of stairs that leads up kind of to a landing kind of above the bar. You watch Daisy kind of running up the stairs. There's a pair of men sitting at a far table. They just kind of have some mugs of ale in front. They look like just kind of idly talking. They don't really seem to notice you very much. And then about a minute or two later, a hobbit woman appears at the top of the stairs. She's wearing kind of a plain blue dress, has kind of a green handkerchief over her head, and she has kind of a stern look on her face. You would guess she's approaching middle age in terms of hobbit years, and she kind of looks down at you, and it looks like she's doing kind of a quick count. She's like, Balin's guests, it's about time you arrived. I wasn't going to hold those rooms forever.
Good. We wouldn't expect you to.
Well.
And she just kind of stomping down the stairs, and she's going, "There's supposed to be one more of you." And that's when you hear the door open again. And turning around, you see a large man, probably late 20s, dark skin. He has his hair is like in long braids down his back. He's wearing kind of like a leather shirt. Has some like kind of like armor shoulder shoulder armor, and you see he has a long sword strapped on his back. And Iridel, you recognize them.
Okay.
They are, you have met them before. They are a man you know is from Gondor. But you're maybe kind of struggling with the name. You're like, he had a nickname, but I don't remember his real name. It was, and it's kind of on the tip of your tongue. And that's probably where we're going to do a roll, actually. And
all right.
Let's see. Let's have you do a. Let's just do a lore roll. See if you can remember what his nickname was.
Roll.
Ooh,
Great.
the Eye of Sauron. Okay.
I know you, don't I?
And he kind of takes a step in, and he's like, they call me Dasher.
Yes, I was going to say that next.
And he says, and forgive me, not quite sure I remember your name. I'm going to have to make a roll, though. See if he remembers. He's like,
No.
sorry, you look familiar.
Right. Iridel. I mean, it's been years since we saw each other. You looked much younger at the time. You were. We were both much younger at the time.
Both Rangers. We just don't seem to travel in the same circles very much.
All right. Now, is he a man of Gondor, or is he also Dunedain?
He's a man of Gondor, who became a Ranger of the North, which isn't normally a combination that happens that much, but he will look to the others and kind of gives kind of a short bow, and he says, pleased to make your acquaintance. My name is Thodrundr, a champion of Gondor.
Glorel will give a brisk half bow back and say, my name is Glorel. I'm of Linden, and I'm afraid I don't remember you at all.
We've never met. No.
Oh, that would explain it.
Tara grasps him, like, she's short, but she really, like, grasps him on the arm and, like, grips him strong, and it's just like, yes, well, let's have some ale and talk about our conquest.
He's like, and this dwarf I like.
If I remember correctly, you like your beer dark and warm.
Me?
Not you. You drink any beer.
That's what I was totally gonna say.
He's like, I have a heavy thirst from the road. He's like, I will take, I guess, whatever this humble establishment has.
Let's find out.
So he'll come in, kind of sit down at a chair with you guys, and you find out that he rode here. His horse is outside. It was a long ride from he had been up north, and is kind of leans in and goes, do you know how Balin found us? Because I'm puzzled.
That was pretty easy to find.
I've been wondering that myself. I wander around so much. I kind of imagine that he sent out runners to like 100 different places and just hoped that he would find us because yeah.
Oh. That's an interesting explanation. I think I like it. I assumed it was magic.
I suppose.
Could be. So we're gonna say they spend some time talking. Daisy will come by and told Mr. Balin had gone out earlier. Said he'd be back. I guess he's maybe running a little bit late, so I'll get you all some drinks.
Oh, I've found
Yes.
for the dwarf.
Drinks
He's
and food.
never late. They arrive exactly when they intend to. And if that happens to be inconvenient for anybody else, well, we just have to deal with it.
She kind of scratches her head, kind of like, I don't understand this elf.
No one does. No one does.
More time for food and drink.
Yeah, we have our own farm here. We have a small trading station that if you need to get supplies before maybe heading to Bree, we got lots here. The stew is good. If you enjoy a good pork stew, and we got biscuits and some good vegetables.
Do you have honey for those biscuits?
Oh, we might. I suppose we might. Depends on how the bears have been about keeping us from those hives of theirs.
If not honey, but perhaps a jam or a jelly of some sort.
And she's like, I kind of gives you that kind of I just work here look that many teenage servers do. And she's like, I'll look.
Is this the same poor girl who we harassed earlier?
Yeah. She does. Daisy pretty much does a little bit of everything here.
All right. Yeah, it's just it's okay. She'll get used to it.
It has been a while since I've had some properly farmed vegetables. And a pint of your brownest beer, please. I'd like to see if more brown means more tasty.
And Dasher just gives a laugh at that. And he's like, I don't know if that's the case. Sometimes it just means it's old and was at the bottom of the barrel. So,
Right. Or
It could be a really thick, rich stout.
yeah.
right.
He says,
Well, that'll be interesting too. I haven't retched in a while.
Might not be the best foot to start the journey off on, but
and
okay.
And he kind of turns his attention more back to Yardell. Like,
So tell me, sister, what adventures have you been on in these past years? Have you made our order proud?
Well, I don't know about that. I suppose they might be. I don't concern myself with that too much. The three of us here actually recently had quite an adventure with what appeared to be a ghost in a keep not too far from here.
Oh, yes. And some very wet. What were they again?
I don't remember.
Whites of some kind.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm not sure that strictly counted as a barrow.
No, it definitely wasn't a barrow. It was a castle that was falling down. But it was odd that there were these spirits. These whites, you say? Yes.
We killed Sebastian.
And he just nods. Well,
A book or
Is-
something? I don't know.
and he kind of looks between the two of you, like, I wasn't there. I don't know.
What I'd like to do now is we are going to go into we're going to perform updates where the players are going to be able to update their character sheets based on the skill points and the adventure points that they have. So this is just kind of some housekeeping, but I thought it'd be interesting for us to kind of talk about what they want to potentially increase and kind of what they did to kind of warrant making those increases. So anybody want to go first? Anybody ready? Or
double check how many points you said I had.
Yeah, I'm happy to volunteer, but I have no idea what,
Okay. Okay.
Right?
what we're doing. Haven't really thought
Well,
that far ahead.
That's fine. And really, you don't have to do it tonight. If you're just really not sure, there's no point in just plugging things in just to do it. So,
You're right. How many points do we have? 6 skill
Yeah.
points.
Yeah, I don't even know what you can do with that.
Well,
How much can we?
On
add a new
119 of
skill.
the text.
yeah, page 119 in the book.
Add a new skill at 1 dot, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that answers that question. I will save that until I can make something
Yeah.
better.
And
Yeah,
that's
probably.
absolutely fine with me. Is if you'd rather just wait and fill that in later. Ellie,
No.
do you have any idea what you'd potentially like to update?
You know, I think I'm going to save mine as well.
Okay, that's absolutely fair. So, okay, so we are going to move on then.
So that means
we
for adventure points, we should record that. Is that what that is? Or?
Well, I'll add those to your character sheet.
Okay.
At the end of the sessions, so you would just mess with them when you're going to spend things. So
Right. Now, Valor and Wisdom ranks are a bit cheaper. What do we spend to...
you spend adventure points for those.
Okay. Well, we do also have 6 adventure points.
Right.
And it looks like you need, I believe, let's see, new Valor or Wisdom rank to
Looks
get
like
to.
it's just the new rank. So,
Yeah.
what are those used for? I don't remember.
Let's see. Well, according to this, you can spend adventure points to buy a new rank in either Wisdom or Valor, or to enhance an adventurer's combat proficiencies. With skill points, players do not have to spend all their adventure points at once, but can save them to acquire more expensive updates later. So you can also update your combat proficiencies if you chose to.
Got you.
But Wisdom and Valor, I will
Oh.
go back and check that.
we also recover hope points equal to our heart score.
Mm-hmm. So let me get back to Wisdom represents the players' heroes' trust in their own capabilities, their self-confidence, and capacity for good judgment. Let's see, mechanically, what does it do?
Says they affect the game in a few ways. They provide player heroes with special abilities and superior equipment and allow them to resist the dangerous influence of the shadow.
Yeah.
Rolls made Valor and Wisdom are resolved as usual, rolling a feat die and a number of success dice equal to the appropriate rating and the challenged ability. The Wisdom expresses the player heroes' trust in their own capabilities, their self-confidence, and capacity for good judgment. Whereas Valor is a measure of a hero's courage, as tempered by dangerous deeds.
Gotcha. No, I think I will bump my Valor up to 2.
Okay.
I don't feel like we necessarily... I don't remember the last game that... Well, I think it was more valorous than wise.
Yeah. Again,
so
if you want to think about these, it's absolutely fine. So, but whatever you
Trying
want
to
to
figure
spend right now, you know.
What does it mean by they provide you with special abilities and superior equipment? What kind of special abilities and superior equipment?
I think that's when we look at the abilities table. So it's
Yeah. And I do have this. My great spear, Lintlant, is some sort of spear of destiny or something. And that may be tied to like how much I find out about it. Obviously comes from story, but also might be tied to one of those. So I'll have to look into seeing remind myself how that works.
Mm-hmm.
I am also going to increase my wisdom to 2.
Okay. So then you just need to update your
I think your total adventure points. So
Okay, here we go. So heroes from all cultures choose a reward during character creation and may choose a new one each time they gain a new rank in Valor.
ooh.
Ah,
So rewards list. There's 6 types of rewards. Each one indicates the type of gear that can receive that upgrade. This is on page 79, by the way.
thank you. Yep.
All upgrades can be applied only once to the same piece of gear. I think right, my health is already intimidating.
Yes, and we decide whether or not it represents the discovery of a previously unknown property of an item or an entirely new weapon or suit of armor. So mine will definitely go toward unlocking the next level of knowledge about the spear. Maybe that's what I was doing while time was passing. I was finding out things like that.
That works. Okay.
I'm going to do a quick dive back into my old character.
Yeah. And I would add that on your character sheet, just so that you have that later on. So. Okay.
Sure. So so that looks like then I can spend my 6 points to raise my Valor by up to 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then take the reward for wanna say that maybe while she was on break she had a new axe forged. That's what's better though? A bell weapon, a grievous weapon, or a keen weapon?
I think they each have different advantages.
Yeah,
Yeah, one's more armor piercing, one's just more damage, and one is it's like it makes it easier to score a piercing blow. I wish I understood the game well enough to know which one of these would be more useful.
I would say hold on then.
Yeah, the piercing blow is basically like a crit. It
Right.
gives you the more damage.
So, I mean, the grievous one is just most straightforward. It just adds 1 to the damage rating of the selected weapon.
Yeah.
The fell one adds 2 to the injury rating. I don't remember how that works. Okay, yeah, let's oh. Yeah, I don't know. I suppose anybody remembers well enough how the combat works to make a recommendation there.
Not really. I'm trying to find my original notes on the spear and what properties I had intended to unlock, so that I could at least give you that guidance. But I don't know where my fucking notes are.
Meanwhile, I have found an interesting quirk of this character sheet, which is that I can edit anything I like, but I can't edit it. I can't add anything new.
You should be owner of your sheet.
Yeah, and I get.
Are you trying to drag something into the sheet?
No, in fact, I don't see what I'm looking for in the compendiums.
What are you looking for?
I was going to add a new virtue because
Oh,
I
okay.
increased my wisdom.
Okay, yeah, I can. They are in the. Where are they? Yeah, they should be in the compendium. And
Well, it looks like I already have a Grievous
interesting. They're not
act.
there now. Yeah, because they were there before.
Mm.
They were because it had like the
Yeah, I was pretty sure I used them when I was setting up the character.
Okay, what happened? I mean, yeah, no, they were there. That kind of
So
sucks.
if it helps at all, Mouse, I went with Fell, Keen, Numenorian, because history, and then Bane, orcs and evil men, and then finally Superior Fell. But it's going to take a while before we unlock
I
that.
think I figured it out.
I don't even see that. Okay.
I have to refresh the page.
Though some of those options might be specific, like you can't have a Numenorian
Oh,
Right.
spear
There they
necessarily.
are. Okay.
You could find one, but
Yes.
it's not something you would have inherited. And this is something I inherited. So
Something got messed up.
So
So.
now it will be Keen. Jelly.
You see it now, Ellie?
yes.
Okay.
All upgrades can be applied only once to the same piece of gear. Does that mean? Can the same piece of gear have multiple rewards? Just can't have the same one more than once? Is that what that's saying? Or is it saying it can only have one reward? Period.
No, it's saying each reward can only be applied once. I
Yeah.
think it's
Yeah.
what you said,
So I
right?
can
See?
both Grievous and Fell.
Fell. Yes.
Okay.
But
Because
not,
then you can
Grievous.
pick when you do your attack, like which one you want to use.
where'd my character sheet go?
You have to reopen it because I had to refresh the.
Okay.
Oh, and you're also not in Foundry, so you're gonna
Oh,
have
yeah.
to log back in. I don't see you in there, so
I see you.
I had to refresh the page. Interesting, because you're not listed down below. Whatever.
Oh, I see Q in the.
Yeah, I see his cube moving around, but I don't see. It's
No,
when
I
I
see
look
him
at
in the
players.
list.
Yeah, it's interesting. Whatever. As
Who
long
knows?
as you're in there.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Back.
Where is the search on this thing?
I gotta look up what does Keen do. Hope we're
That's
not
what I
boring
was
you,
looking up.
Reg.
Well,
I was looking up how the piercing blow thing works here.
Yeah, it's like if I remember correctly, when you get a what's effectively a critical, when you get extra
Oh, here we go.
the extra. Oh, you found it. Good. Something about like extra successes, you can make it a piercing blow or.
Piercing blows. During combat, fighters can see their stamina being blown away as exhaustion and blows suffered take their toll, or they can be suddenly and unexpectedly cut down by a vicious stroke that penetrates through their protective equipment and draws blood. In addition to the loss of endurance points, any successful attack may inflict a piercing blow. An attack inflicts a piercing blow, and a 10 or some icon result on the feat die. Characters hit by a piercing blow must immediately roll a feat die plus the number of success dice equal to the protection value of the armor worn. If the attack made the character weary, the protection test is made before the weariness sets in. Okay.
Yeah, so you may remember when you make a roll, you roll a d12. That's really a 1 through 10 plus the Gandalf symbol and the evil eye symbol.
Okay.
If you roll a 10 on that, that's a crit. It's like rolling 20. That's
So what
your-
Keen does is make you basically crit on a 9 or a 10.
right, improved critical. Yeah.
Yeah. And then what Fell does is increase the injury rating.
And adds 2 to the injury rating. And I still don't understand injury ratings. So,
Well,
but I
'cause
think it hurts more.
yes, yeah, yeah, because you lose endurance, but then when you take an injury, I think you can only take 2 injuries, and then I think you're dropped, if I remember
Yeah.
that
So
correctly.
and foes tend to be like have obviously less injuries than us or something like that.
I think so. Yeah, you can give them injuries, but I think they have less, so they might only have like 1 or like a
Yeah. So
goblin.
if you manage to score a piercing blow with a fell weapon, you're pretty much going to take out whatever you hit because you're adding 2 injuries on top of whatever they
Yeah,
would
yeah.
normally get,
Yeah.
or increasing the injury rating by 2. Yeah, and Grievous changes damage,
Yeah.
which is all the time instead of just when you crit. Oh yeah, and that's why I chose Fell and Keen as the like the progression for the spears, because at first you think it's just this normal spear my mom gave me, but then as the more I use it, I realize, wow, this seems to be hitting really hard. It's Fell, and then
Taking eyes out left and right.
right, yeah. Don't pick your nose with that. I don't know that we have to. Yeah, it seems like something we'll just have to remember. It doesn't look like the founder sheet keeps track of the abilities. Well, except for like the injury levels, because normally a spear would be 16 and this one's 18, so I've already accounted for that. I'm just going to have to remember that now I have to check on 9s.
We'll give it about 5 more minutes, and then after
Great.
that,
I'm gonna
if you're not sure, we'll just have you finish up.
I'm gonna go with the Keen.
Okay.
So my Valor is now a 2. And
And we can help remind each other.
right. I lost it. Where did it go?
Thadrinder tells a story about encountering a band of orcs, a small war band that he had run into in the north, and they seem to be, from what his intelligence gathered, they seem to be working for a troll. That there was a troll who was in charge of this warband. So he sent missives to Bree and to areas east. Not sure if who's going to be able to actually get those messages through, but kind of like Yoradel, he wisely chose not to take them on himself. And sent that information on. So again, this is a kind of a time of sharing news with each other. Hey, I saw this around here. Watch out for this. And
Right.
so,
I'll tell them about the goblins
yeah.
south of here.
Yeah. And after you've been there for about an hour, talking, probably on maybe your second mug of ale, maybe third, depending on how thirsty you are. Balin arrives, and where can I have an image of him I can share? And I'm going to do that just a second here. So we're gonna go get him up here. There he is. And he arrives through the front door. You see him kind of like brushing dust and something on him. He's like shaking out his beard. And he's like, ah. And he's like, it's so much better to be in here. He's like, oh, my friends, you received my letters.
You
And
must
he
be
comes-
Balin.
And he kind of comes wandering over to the table. He says, I am my tall friend. I am Balin. And Daisy comes over with a mug for me. And he says, oh, bless you, girl. He takes this and he goes, what is this? And she goes, sir, it was water. I figured you were mighty thirsty. He's like, never just give me water first without telling me. There's no reason to drink water first. He's like, the brown stuff, and don't scrape the bottom again. I don't know when you've been doing that.
That's the brown ale, not the brown water.
Yeah.
Here, I have a mug for you, old friend.
And he takes it, and he says, Glariel, you come highly recommended. Gandalf the Grey said you were a great asset to him, and anyone who's a friend of Gandalf's is a friend of mine.
Well, he told me to consider you a friend as well, so here we are.
Here we are. And looks over at Jorah, and he says, now I've heard quite a bit about your lineage. You come from a strong family.
Yes. Well, you do me a great honor. I am at your service.
Thank you.
Never seen Tora this remotely deferential.
Yeah, he's pretty much a legend. He is known to wander really a lot from the east all the way to the Blue Mountains and back. He kind of pops up in different places, and he sits down with you, and after kind of making some small talk for a while, and again saying to Tora, I heard great things about you and your family. He says, and kind of stifles a burp and says, let's talk. Now, I've been hearing that there's trolls been wandering down from the Enten Moors. Some have even been seen east of Bree. Now, this knowledge is not well known, thankfully. It would send everybody into a panic. We can't have folks panicking now. Now, my hope is that maybe just curiosity or plain old greed has brought them down into these lands, but hope alone is not enough. I pray they're not the vanguard of something worse. This area from here clear to the Misty Mountains, just vast stretches of uninhabited lands dotted with long abandoned ruins. But if someone or something has moved in, the powers that be need to know. I beg of you to investigate the lands to the east, starting with Weathertop. Now, of course, I'll sponsor your trip, providing for basic equipment and transport. In return, I ask that you meet with me here again in 3 months' time. If you would agree to these terms, it would do me the great honor of knowing that trusted heroes would be taking on the chance to potentially root out possibly some kind of invasion.
What say ye?
Whatever you need.
Sounds like reasonable terms.
Goodness, I think I can clear my calendar.
It's like, well, bless you. Thanks for making time for me.
Clara elbows Clara.
Of course, I'd be happy to help.
Shoots.
And Thodrunder nods and he says, not typically, or this isn't outside of what I normally do, but yeah, I think I agree with it, and with my sister here at my side, I think this shouldn't be too difficult a task for us.
God, you just jinxed it.
Shh. Probably some Gondor. It probably won't last very long.
Wow.
Anyway, so and his last name is
wearing a
Bean.
red shirt?
Well, his last name is Bean, by the way. So, anyway, at this, and basically, you guys just continue to kind of make some small talk. Thodrunder has a horse. As we know in these stories, pretty much everyone just walks everywhere.
Yeah.
But this particular inn has a trading station there. You noticed when you came in, about the best you saw there was 3 really young-looking ponies. Now, the dwarf, probably no trouble with a pony. The other 2, though, you might be a little bit big for ponies, but that is something that you could purchase here. Again, Balin is paying, so you could purchase something here. But he does kind of looks around to make sure Daisy and Ms. Baggins aren't listening. He says, "You're gonna find better merchandise and a better selection in Bree, to be honest with you. So, I mean, God bless her heart, but I wouldn't waste me time with those small little ponies out there. Go to Bree. That's where you'll find the best deals."
They have good horse flesh.
Horse flesh?
I'm not quite fond of. Well, yeah, I mean,
Not for eating.
not for eating.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
unless you need to. It's not terrible.
And everyone just kind of sits and like, okay.
Well, personally, I prefer to walk. Lets me get a better view of the environment.
Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't mind dragging a pony along to carry our stores. If we're going to be heading out
like.
for somewhere like 3 months, then I mean, there's only so much deer I can stomach. But I suppose I could drag myself back to Bree. I just remember it being very muddy.
It does. The couple times I go through there a year, why does it always seem to rain in that place? And then I wonder, is this all mud? Probably not.
Probably not.
But I clean my boots and keep moving.
It is suspiciously foul mud at that.
And you notice that from behind the bar, you see Ms. Baggins. Her name is Rowan Baggins, by the way. You see her climb up on a stool so that she can kind of keep an eye on everything. And she seems like she's been kind of trying to listen in on your conversation. You chose a table that wasn't really close to her, but every now and then she seems to be kind of mopping the bar a little bit and just kind of leaning her ear out.
And she says, I told Balin not to leave. What with you being here any minute, but what do I know? I'm just a farmer, right? So he wanders out. You shouldn't have left him waiting so long there, Balin. He says, well, I had a short errand I had to attend to. I apologized for my lateness. Please.
It took me weeks to get here. You being gone for an extra hour was nothing. I got to eat. I got to drink. I mean, you need to relax more, Mrs. Baggins.
She's like, it's Ms. Baggins to you, sir.
Okay, Ms. Baggins. What's the difference?
What do you mean, what's the difference?
Why does it matter?
One means that she's an unmarried maid, and one means that she's a respectable married lady.
Thank you, Madam.
Can she not be respectable and unmarried?
Make your stupid rules.
I didn't make the rule.
She kind of stomps her fist on the bar and says, that'll be enough. Can I get you more to eat? Maybe that'll keep your mouth full. And you don't keep saying such silly things.
Not sure you might not spit in it at this point.
More sausage.
You continue with small talk for a little while. The walk to Bree is about 2 hours. So they, if they're going to go before it gets dark, they're going to have to leave fairly soon. Balin recommended staying at the Prancing Pony, and tell the bartender, Barnabas Butterbur, that he sent you.
All right.
Okay.
I think we should maybe move on. I don't think they like us very
Why
much.
did we? Yeah. If you're sending us off to this Prancing Pony, why did we bother to meet here?
Because I like the stew.
It was good stew.
Was good stew. Plus,
Yeah, well, I don't think we're going to get any more of it at this point.
plus, it's my coin, boy. So I paid.
Oh,
Or excuse me, girl.
under the table.
Girl. So he says, I'm paying, so I pick the place.
Fair enough.
Plus, there's not as many nosy ears here as you'll find in Bree. And she's and kind of hops down from the stool and kind of goes stomping off somewhere.
We're going to end up sleeping in the barn at this rate.
He's like,
Right? So we're just outside of Bree. We could get there.
about 2 hour walk. Yeah.
Too far? Okay.
Yeah.
more of a
And
setup.
it's like late afternoon. So
All right. And so we want to go to Bree and stay at the Prancing Pony just so we can get better provisions than what we can
Yeah.
find here.
yes, yeah. And I am gonna update.
Don't
the-
say that really loudly.
I'm gonna update the journey log. It is technically autumn, so change that. So
I could not, for the life of me, figure out how to add another reward.
How to add a reward to your character.
you should be able to from the compendium.
From the compendium.
It's I think it's under characteristics.
Above the chat, there's there's a hot bar with icons.
Yeah.
Yep.
The one second from the right is a book called Compendium Packs.
Ah,
And if you open up characteristics, that should have rewards.
Oh, I have to go in here.
Yeah.
and then there's common and enchanted. Ooh.
And then what you can do is when you find the one you want, you just drag it into your character sheet.
Ah! Thank you.
No problem.
Glorious. I was like,
Interesting.
I can't figure out how to do this. I didn't want to interrupt. Okay. There we yeah.
Thank you, Crash.
Does it know which weapon it applies to?
It does.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
It's set up to know that it does seem to work pretty well.
Okay.
So, all right. So you have a pony. So we're gonna say that its name is Clara. Okay. So Clara the pony. You take one of the ponies here because it's worth it to just have it. So when you get to Bree, then you have something to. Anything else you purchase there, you can just put it right on there. So, Thadurnder will just tie it to his horse so that it just kind of follows along, unless someone wants to ride it.
Not I.
Nope. Okay then. All right.
Well, I might strap my spear to it.
Okay. We're not gonna.
Have my bow out for walking in case we need to let off a quick shot if a deer crosses our path. You never know. You always need to be keeping an eye out for the wildlife, especially those squirrels.
Yes. They are dangerous. this
Squirrels
time
will
of
get
year.
you.
Yeah, Tara's definitely walking because she, doesn't want to, doesn't want to think she can't keep up. The long-legged people. But she's got to take double steps to hoofing it, but she won't. She refuses to.
Right? But dwarves can do that all day.
Yeah.
At least that's what they keep telling me.
Exactly. They're known for they're natural sprinters. So.
Yeah.
Okay. So your journey to Bree is uneventful. And when you get into town, most of the shops are still open. Probably about an hour or so before they're probably going to start closing down. But you could do a little shopping first if you wanted to. Anything else you want to do before you head over to the Prancing Pony?
Do we need to acquire some provisions for the road, or
We're gonna get that in Bree.
we're gonna get that?
Yeah.
So,
As far as before we leave, what even town is this?
You're in Bree.
Oh.
We're in?
Yeah.
We've arrived in Bree.
You've arrived in Bree.
We've
Yeah.
arrived
that's
in
what I
Bree.
thought. Okay, you
Yeah.
confused.
Okay, yeah.
The Pig and Peck is just a small little inn on the road to Bree. So.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. Right. So I think Yoredale would push to get all our shopping and everything done, and then go relax.
Okay.
She's in prep mode.
Okay.
And that's something she'd be happy to take on her own if you guys need to go off and do something else.
No, I might see if they have replacements for replenish my stock of writing paper and charcoal.
Okay.
And replace a stake that got broken during my last outing.
Okay.
But
And I think that's under equipment.
Yeah.
If you wanna, we're not going to role play all that out. We're going to say you guys spend some time doing some shopping.
Yeah.
And
I don't
Yeah,
really need. I think she just needs general provisions, but then she's, of course, always on the lookout for anything kind of interesting or special.
yeah, exactly. Unless there's something that catches my eye in the shops, I'm basically just replenishing the gear that I have on my sheet.
Okay. All right.
Need, like potions of any kind? Do they have
The
that?
oil for the lantern.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no healing potions in this world.
Yeah, there's none of that kind of stuff, right? Yeah,
No.
okay.
No.
No, not in the equipment list anyway.
Yeah.
There's this one ring.
Everybody stops. No? Everybody stops in the town and looks. No.
Get out, you!
All right. So we'll wrap up the shopping. You guys continue to just update your character sheets as you need to.
Yeah, I just picked up a dagger to have as an extra
Okay.
utility.
And remember, and if you don't remember, that does go against your load.
Apparently, the dagger has a load of 0, so
Even better. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, I should add one of those.
It is very useful if you have to cut something. So
yeah. But yeah, this doesn't seem to be a terribly let's go shopping heavy kind of game. So
no.
Yeah.
No.
we'll hand away provisions. We'll get hardtack and dried meat and try to make sure it's beef and not horse because apparently it's a thing.
And again, this is all a montage of the
Right.
shopping montage.
Not 2 of those. No, 3. Yeah. No, I'm not paying that much. This is what I've got. What can I get with this?
Don't you want to haggle? So,
No, I want people to tell me how much it is, and I want to pay and walk away.
all right. So once the shopping has been done, you begin to head towards the Prancing Pony. It's kind of a little bit of a hill in town. The sun is just starting to set, so it's kind of seeing the end is kind of a welcome sight after a day of kind of on and off travel. So you walk in, and I know you guys are probably familiar with how it looks in the movies. We're gonna stick with that. Inside, the fire is warm, the beer frothy, and the worthies of Bree have gathered in the common room of the pony to sing songs and make merry. This night, there are 3 groups of strangers as well as the locals. You see a pair of dwarves, a trio of men, and our fellowship have settled in. Thondrundur had gone to the bar and had spoke to Barnabas Butterbur, and he was quite happy to see, friends of Balin. Well, first round's on me. And so you guys have all gathered at your table. Glorel, you are getting some looks. People are kind of doing kind of a second look, like, an elf.
Nothing I'm not used to.
And so
An elf outside of Linden isn't exactly a common sight.
Yeah.
So the 3 men who were sitting at a table, one of them kind of leans over and kind of pats Iridel's shoulder and says, "Hey, miss, how are you this evening?"
I'm fine. How are you?
We're having just a wonderful evening. You can see they're probably a couple ales in. And he says, "My name's Arna. That's my friend Harold and Leaf. We're merchants from Lake Town."
Well, yes, Lake Town. I've been there. It's been a few years. How are things in Lake Town?
It's getting better. We've rebuilt a bit. That whole mess with the dragon, that was before my time, but it's still taking us some time. We're merchants. We came west looking for some new trading opportunities. We have wine from Derwinian and some very clever looking trinkets from Dale.
Ooh.
Too money in wine, you say?
Indeed.
Oh, I haven't tried that. What do you sell it by?
They kind of look at each other. The cask?
Ah, excellent. I'll have a cask if you don't mind.
Yeah, I suppose. Hey, Leaf. And he points to one of the. He's kind of. He's like, the dwarf. And then they said, no. This is, it's not a dwarf. And he goes, oh. He says, what is it? And they go, it's an elf. He said, oh. Forgive me, ma'am. The elf wants a casket of. And he seems like he's just stumbling over his words now, because now he knows he's offended you, and he's saying casket instead of cask. They want some wine.
The Duenian wine, please.
Yeah.
And please don't worry on my account. I'm not offended at all. Now, my friend Tara is a dwarf, and
Right. And I mean,
can't speak for her.
to be mistaken as a dwarf, it would be a high honor, really. I mean, I wouldn't be offended. No, it's not like you tried to call me an elf.
And for all I know, I am one.
and he kind of blushes, and he's like, yeah, what, and he kind of gets in this stutter all of a sudden, and he's like, we'll get you your wine. And he nudges Leaf, and Leaf goes out, comes.
But I
comes
mean,
back.
if you're worried that you offended her, you could give her a discount.
And then they kind of all like discount.
But not a large discount.
Now, I wouldn't hear of it. They made a simple mistake. It's
Now I'm offended, and I want a discount.
well, all right.
You want some trinkets from Dale?
Are they magic trinkets?
Well, they seem magical.
They're very shiny.
That doesn't make them magic.
Oh, but they're beautiful.
In my experience, a lot of times the magic stuff's like all dirty and tarnished and stuff. It's very misleading.
In a moment or two, Leaf comes in carrying this small cask of wine. I mean, they're very small. You find, and puts it down on your table, and he says, "Right, that's gonna be 3 silver."
That sounds fair to me.
Okay, and he puts out his hand.
She'll pass it over.
Okay. I think this game you don't really keep track of money.
Yeah.
You know, you have like treasure.
We have treasure.
Yeah, exactly. So, and he's like, "Oh, well, thank you." He's like, "Where are you folks bound to?"
Here. We just arrived.
Oh. Well, let me tell you, we're this is Leaf talking to you. Arna seems like he's just a little embarrassed now, and now his stutters come out, so he's kind of quit talking. He says, "Well, we're bound for the Blue Mountains, and we know a little bit of the geography of those lands around the High Pass. Have any of you come through there or know anything about Iridor?"
Let's find out.
Laurel, you're the one that knows stuff. What?
You drink and you know things. So.
Yeah.
I got a success on my explorer roll.
Okay. That would tell me that, you do know a little bit about that. You might be able to share some knowledge with them.
Which I will happily do.
Okay.
Yes, I've been there myself.
Oh.
In fact, I've drawn a map. Let me take it out, and I'll have to find it just a second. And she starts digging through her scroll case, trying to
Blutterber, another round of ale while my friend digs through her purse.
He's like, right with you. Harold, the second guy, he'll kind of scoot his chair a little bit closer over to you guys. He's like, any news from the road you could share with us?
I did run across a small troop of goblins moving north.
Goblins?
About 2 days walk south of here.
Oh, that's bad news.
Yes, be careful. It was a sizable party. You wouldn't want to, come across them. The three of you alone. It would be dangerous.
Little Leaf isn't much good, Miss Scrap, and Arna, and he's looking like he's going to say something about Arna, but then Harold goes, "Arna's a good guy." He's like, "Well, let me tell you, there's I heard some recent news from Wilderland. There's a strong king in Dale, Bard the Bowman, but the good years are passing, and there's rumors of evil in the Mirkwood again. If you head that far, be careful, because no one wants to go in those woods."
I'm sad to hear that.
Yes.
The two dwarves, they don't say anything. They kind of just keep giving you guys looks over their drinks, but then they don't say anything. They're just kind of mumble something to each other and kind of mind their own business. There is again, there's some music playing. There's a young guy playing a fiddle, kind of playing some uplifting music. Nobody's quite dancing, but it seems to be kind of just a calm night here at the Prancing Pony. Barnabas comes out with the drinks again. He's like, "Sorry, are you looking for rooms?"
Yes, we are. We would like to stay the night here if you have space for us.
I've got 2 rooms to spare.
Perfectly adequate. I mean, unless they're the size of a closet.
Well, they're fairly sizable. They're
Perfect. Perhaps only one will be needed.
And he looks at Thadrindar, who's big, and he's like, "Bed might be a little short for you, my friend." He's like, "I recommend 2 rooms."
Perfect.
It's like, "And you said you're traveling for Balin, so I'll put it on his tab then."
Oh,
Excellent. Can you put another pint of ale on his tab, too?
Of course.
Excellent. And you got a big old roast chicken?
Yeah, we might have some chicken. Let me check back in the kitchen.
Excellent. I mean, the 2-hour walk wore off the stew that we had earlier. So.
Okay.
I didn't realize everything was on Balin's tab.
And Thadrindar says, "Let's try not to push it, though."
He would totally understand the need for ale and chicken.
Go ahead.
While he's over here, I'll ask for a clean glass so I can try the wine.
And that's like the record scratch. Clean glass. No, who are you, and what have you done with the people? No.
Can I take the glass and then his previous glass that he was drinking ale out of, I guess, and then I'm just gonna lick it clean and then hand it back to him. Yeah. Hand it back to him. There you go.
It's like, right.
Thank you.
yeah.
Does Tora sport a beard? Oh, okay. One of those beardless women.
Tora, the dwarves keep looking at you. They're kind of looking over at you, and then they kind of look away, and then a couple minutes later, they kind of look at you again.
How many of them are there?
Say that again.
How many of them are there?
There's 2 of them. They look older.
Do they have like, I don't know, anything on their armor, or any insignia, or anything that would maybe clue family, lineage, or?
Let's take a look. Let's look at your character sheet and see what might be appropriate.
Whose folk are they?
I thought I had written a history for Tara, and I can't find it anywhere. So,
Yeah.
oddly enough,
Yeah, I don't think you don't have anything in awareness.
Yeah.
You don't have anything in insight. You have 1 dot in lore, maybe. You could try that.
okay.
And remember, guys, you can spend hope to help with some of your rolls.
Get
So,
extra dice, I think,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
No, I think I may have had a few too many ale.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. And they kind of notice you looking, and they're like, "What's a female dwarf doing traveling with an elf and 2 humans or 2 men?
What does me being female have to do with it?
Just want to make sure you're safe. Make sure you're being looked after."
Do I look like I'm not capable of making sure I'm safe?
And they kind of, guess we'll just mind our own business then.
Maybe you should.
All right then. And they just kind of pull their chairs in a little closer to their table, and they don't say anything else to you.
That's right.
Ridiculous.
Man.
I do enjoy learning about new cultures.
Ugh. Is that how your culture treats you? Is you're female? They question whether you're capable of keeping yourself safe?
Is that what you say to them?
No, he's saying that to go real.
Oh, well,
Well,
you're kind of going in and out, so I had trouble hearing it.
sorry, I don't know why it's doing that.
It's okay.
It seems to do it the most when you talk louder, like it's clipping out or something. It's weird. It could just be coincidence.
I wonder if it's something with Foundry. Not Foundry, StreamYard.
No.
It
Maybe.
could be, but I don't think you haven't changed anything on it recently, so it could be something with the suppression or whatever, the echo suppression or something.
I don't have that turned on.
Okay. All right. Just an idea. Anyway, back with the story.
No, in fact, my people were so happy that I was going out on my own that they held a festival after I left.
Wait, they held a festival after you left?
It's tradition, they told me. They wouldn't want to convince me to stay around by having the festival while I was still there.
That makes perfect sense. And passes Glorel another drink.
I'm like eyeing I can't say any of these names. Yordell. I'm like, that's a, yeah, I've never heard of that elf custom, but I mean, what do I know about elves?
I'm only peripherally familiar with Elven culture.
That just
The
seems,
few
you know,
times
like
I've
if
spent time.
when we're setting one off in the, you know, my culture is more like, you know, we celebrate with them before they leave. Because, you know, they might not come back. They might just... That's
Well, I'm sure they trust me to come back, and I trust you to bring me back safely.
Well, then I'll drink to that. I'll drink to that.
I will drink to that too. To returning safely.
To returning safely.
To returning safely.
At that, the front door opens, just bursts open, and a dwarf runs in. He's going, "Oh, I need a drink. I need a drink. Oh, please, please. Oh, I beg of you, I need a drink."
He's pretty normal,
And
actually.
in my drink.
And this is what he looks like on the screen. And he gets he just pretty much just grabs a beer from Barnabas and just like chugs the whole thing, wipes his mouth. He's like, another, I'm so parched.
Couldn't it look like key leak?
And Barnabas fills it in, fills another one. And then he goes, oh. And he's kind of scanning the crowd, and he's like, "Be there any brave souls in the inn who'd like to earn their fair share of a great treasure?"
Those two dwarfs over there at that table?
Hmm.
Might help you out.
And
They seem like they need to prove something over there.
And they give Tora a dirty look.
What kind of a treasure?
Well, my friend, and he comes over and sits down, and he says, "Do you know the lands?"
Muffin Man. I'm sorry.
Tara
We're getting
spews
beaten
her
from the
ale
hair.
all over Yordell. She's just like, psh, face full of ale.
I could not help myself.
Oh no, it was so well timed.
Great.
He says,
I don't know who the Muffin Man is, but that was...
He says there are treasures all through the lands to the east, ripe for the taking. In these old abandoned ruins, there's so much there, but I'm only one dwarf.
Is that where we're going anyway? Or...
We are headed in that direction.
No.
Oh.
The dwarfs kind of give him a look, and he just turns his back to them. And he says, "My name's Jari. And yours?" And he kind of looks at Glaurel.
I am Glorel of Linden, and these are my friends whom I shall let introduce themselves.
Yordell?
Tara
Ms.
Gopfeller?
Yordell.
And Lindsay goes, "Thadrandur. Well met, all of you. It is a pleasure to meet all of you. Again, my name's Jari. I'm well known here in town. I mean, as everyone in Bree knows, I'm a noted explorer and treasure finder." He looks over at Tora and goes, "You know, we dwarves have a nose for gold, and I'm on the trail of buried treasure. Now,
Everybody in Bree knows you?
oh sure, they all know me.
So if we asked around,
Sure. Go ahead and ask anyone. They'll tell you they know me."
Can you provide specific references?
I look over at the other dwarves at the other table. I'm like, "Do you guys know this guy?"
And they kind of go,
It's dwarven
And-
for...
It's kind of dwarven for.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, we're not. They kind of glare at Jari a little bit.
They don't seem like big fans.
But they glared at you too. So I mean, is that saying a lot?
They glared at me after I told them off because they were being sexist.
Now, while you're listening to Jari kind of tell what a big deal he is in town, another figure walks in through the door. And it's a man, kind of a tall man. It looks like kind of a sad sack. Kind of comes in through the door quietly. Kind of goes in and just kind of sits by the bar by himself. Didn't really say a whole lot. You must see he's kind of just like slouching the way the way he walks is just kind of a like weight of the world on his shoulders. Everybody make me an awareness roll, please.
Okay.
Okay.
Ooh, got a Gandalf.
Okay.
All right. Well, at least one of us got a success.
Yeah.
You notice.
I am insufficiently aware.
Yep. As you were listening to Jar, you noticed that this guy has kind of sidled up towards your table, just very quietly, has kind of sidled up, like he's listening to the story. Now Jari kind of beckons you to kind of listening close. He says, "Let me tell you, one of my distant uncles, my great uncle Bori, he buried a treasure a long time ago to hide it from bandits, and I'm the only one who knows the secret. Now, this particular cache is hidden in a valley to the north of Bree, but it's said to be the haunt of wolves and some worse things."
Interesting. Tell us more about the treasures to the east.
Well, this particular site is to the east. I'd say it's more northeast, but yeah, it's the first one that I can share the information about. But that's where you all come in. I need some strong sword-wielding types. I need you to guard me while I search the valley.
Oh, I'm afraid I can't help. I don't even have a sword.
We're sort of on a mission.
Neither do I.
already. We've been. Yeah, we've got everything we need to do.
The guy who's standing near. Oh, go ahead.
Where are we meant to go anyway?
To the east.
Yeah.
You weren't really given. You were told to start at Weathertop, which is essentially northeast of where you are. So.
Okay. I wasn't sure of the.
Yeah.
Well,
the guy who's been standing next to you. Give me an awareness roll again.
All right.
everybody or just your
Everybody. Everybody. Yeah.
Okay.
Awareness
No,
or insight?
Awareness, please. This is more if you're gonna he's muttering something.
Yes, Gorel gets great success. Don't forget to spend those extra success doohickeys.
Oh yeah. Success doohickeys. I don't remember what those do.
Yeah, me either. I don't even remember where to look that up.
But I know exactly what you're talking about. I just don't remember what to do with them.
The guy who's been standing next to you kind of takes his hat off and he's kind of holding it. And anybody who passed that awareness, you hear him says, "This all sounds like some pretty easy money to me."
So that was only Glorel who heard.
And Jari kind of looks up at the guy, and he's like, I suppose we could add another one in if you're up for it. And oh, go ahead.
I was going to say the special success table says that one of the things that I can do is gain insight.
Yeah, you can notice that. This guy is definitely listening to you, but what you notice is that he's acting kind of strangely. He speaks as if like he's saying those words, but he's almost kind of forcing them out. The way he said, like, "Yeah, this really sounds like easy money."
I understand what you mean. Okay. Well, we are headed that way anyway, I suppose. If we don't have to set out right now, if we can get a night's rest and maybe get started in the morning.
And Jari says, "I think that sounds just fine. Now let me tell you, and friend, what's your name?" And the guy says, "Diramak." He says, "Okay, Diramak, I can offer you a share of the treasure, pay as payment if it's found. I can say I don't have a whole lot to offer you in advance, though. So if you could just take me at my word." One of the dwarfs at the other table gives like a and Jari just looks over and goes, "Why don't you mind your own business if you're not really listening over there?"
Now, you seem like a trustworthy fellow to me, and we are headed that way ourselves. So, what do you say we all start out in the morning and we'll see what we find?
I think that sounds fine.
Are you sure you want to bring 2 more people into our little fellowship?
Yeah, Laura, what's your? Can you give us a moment? If you just,
Of course. Of
I'll
course.
give you some. I'll give them money. Go get yourself some. Some
Go play in the
ale over
arcade.
At the bar. Yeah. Go over.
Go win a spider ring.
Yeah, he gets up and goes over to the bar, and Barnabas is like, "Oh, you got money for this one, huh?"
Both of them.
Okay.
Now, we are headed to Weathertop, which is in the northeast.
Shady.
And I don't disagree with you at all. I think this is... Frankly, I don't think we can trust them any farther than I personally can throw them, and I personally can't throw anything very far.
I don't think you could even pick them up, but okay, let's keep going.
But we are headed that way anyway, and it will give us an opportunity to scout out the area. And if they're on the level and there is treasure involved, well, it can't hurt to be able to pay for things.
I suppose, but I don't really
And
care.
if they're not, well,
I mean, we're gonna have
I don't
to keep
see...
Come on.
I can't
make
hear
sure-
you.
Yeah, we can't hear you. Speak up a little bit.
We're gonna have to keep our eyes on them the whole time.
Well, I mean, I have trouble believing that you're not keeping your eyes on everybody the whole time. And in the meantime, if we know that they might try something that they shouldn't be trying, well, we'll have advance warning of whatever it is they try to do.
I
And
suppose taking them with us would be better than having to worry about them following us.
Exactly. And
Keep
Beyond
your enemies
that-
closer, eh?
beyond that, if they're with us, they're not here in Bree snookering some other poor saps into following them into danger. At least we know what we're doing. I may be ridiculous, but I make good decisions on occasion. And I know what the implication of that festival is, and I know that I shouldn't ask for a clean glass in an establishment like this, but I also know that at least this way we're protecting other people from harm.
Well, it's hard to argue with that.
Hey,
Tara's gonna go over next to the other two dwarves. I'll buy them some ales too.
Okay. Yeah, they kind of one of them. Sorry about the insult there, Miss.
It's all right.
It's been a rough couple of weeks. We're missing home. He introduces himself as Floki, and this is his brother Hornbury.
Well met. Is there a reason you haven't just gone back home if you're missing it?
Give me a persuade roll. You seem hesitant to talk.
I can't succeed at anything tonight. Can we just go hit something?
But then their beers come, and then we just came back from some lonely lands north of here, and just made it out of there alive. There were some goddamned orcs. We just made it to Bree in time. But let me tell you, there's some eerie things out there in the wilderness. We just be careful out there, miss.
Oh, thank you for the warning. About these two fellas over here that are trying to convince us to go look for treasure with them.
Floki spits on the floor.
That good, huh?
We know him. He was exiled from the Blue Mountains for theft and being a fraud. I tell you, don't trust that wretch.
I don't.
He's a thief.
All right. Well, I'll keep my eye on him. It looks like we're gonna be taking him with it. Well, maybe he doesn't find his way back home. So to speak.
He takes like a big long sip from his mug. You know, that Jari was accused of tomb robbing and dealing in relics from Moria. Moria. I mean, if that's not a crime in the eyes of the long-beard dwarves, what is?
All right. If it's true, then yeah, maybe he won't make it back to town either.
And he kind of glances over at the barman. It would be a shame if something happened to that scoundrel.
I don't suppose he would come along as well.
With him? No. No. Didn't have nothing to do with him. You know, that Jari tarnished the good name of our other brother, Flonar. No, we'll have nothing to do with him. And if you choose to go with him and take his gold, then good luck to you. But no, we'll have nothing to do with him.
I don't want nothing to do with him either, but
That idiot elf.
Yeah. It looks like we're gonna let them come along with us out of some sort of, I don't know, attempt to protect other people who are less prepared to deal with them. I don't know. A
Barnabas comes.
companion can have some interesting logic.
Barnabas comes by for another round. And says, "Get you another one. Your rooms are ready when you need them."
I think I could have one more.
Okay.
I think we're done here.
Okay.
At least I am.
And he kind of turns his, kind of looks back at the bar, look at Jari, who's now talking to somebody else who's come in. The other guy, Yarmak, he's just kind of loitering by your table. He's just kind of standing there, kind of just holding his hat, like, okay, I guess I'm going with you. Kind of look on his face.
Wait, why? I thought they were together. They're not together?
They didn't come in together.
So why is he coming with us too?
Because it sounded like easy money to him.
Oh.
And he looks he has the look of just like a poor farmer.
All right.
Right.
Well, the more the merrier.
I
But
suppose.
I'll be up at dawn, and I'm not sure about the rest of my friends, but I think we want to get going as early as possible so we can make good time.
Okay. And I think if no one has anything else, I think that's actually a great place to stop for tonight, to prepare for your journey. So
Okay.
we'll pick that up next week. Thanks everybody who's watched. Appreciate your support. If you're watching this on YouTube later, please be sure to give the video a like. And anybody have anything going on this week that they want to advertise, plug? I've got a couple things, but I'll let my guests go first.
Well, I think 3 of us have a Scum and Villainy game on Wednesday.
We do, yeah.
Indeed.
Same bat time, same bat channel,
Mm-hmm.
possibly different voices.
Mostly different characters.
Mostly different.
Mostly different characters.
Yeah.
And Thursday, we return to our Delta Green adventure.
Yes.
So we'll be running that. And we'll see if we can get our little group of agents out of the night floors.
That goddamn hallways that go on forever. So.
Yep.
And then Friday night we have the season finale for River City Runs Red, our Vampire the Masquerade.
Oh,
con.
yeah.
So we've got lots going on this week, folks. So again, thank you for your support, everyone, and we will see you back here next week for the One Ring. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
All right.